Middle of this fairway for about 3 years. This is what we've been all about, regulatory and compliance. At the end of the day, early on, we were the redheaded stepchild, and everyone was talking about lesser regulation, regulation light, on a global basis, not only here in the US. As of late, we've become more of the favored child, not only us, but others in the industry. And we embrace the regulators. The issue that is coming up is potentially more regulators just for cryptos or digital assets. I'm not quite sure that makes sense. We have a lot of regulators as it is, and Chairman Gensler and the CFTC chairman have been very forthright on that. When you talk about the presidential election, the lines being drawn between the Republicans and the Democrats, you know, at the end of the day, I think very little is going to happen except for enforcement until the next presidential cycle.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot of talking points for sure. We'll at least get that out of it. DeFi was a big part of the story for cryptocurrencies last summer. Do you think that was a fad, or are there real companies and use cases that could be adopted by wider finance?
Oh, absolutely. DeFi is here to stay. Certain cryptos are here to stay. I'd say the thousands of cryptos out there right now are going to be wind down to maybe 10 or 20, some protocols, et cetera. Bitcoin and ETH certainly will be there. But the large institutions have been moving into DeFi. It's all going to be about real world assets, not crypto. So at the end of the day, the story is blockchain and the blockchain technology, not the cryptocurrencies, in my opinion. So real world assets, tokenized, and then moving into the DeFi space, that's where the excitement is. The use of stable coins is going to grow, in my opinion, even as the regulatory framework right now is a little gray on that. But DeFi is definitely here to stay. Two examples. SocGen utilized a vault with a large DeFi protocol called MakerDAO, $20 million. They opened and closed it in about a month, very successful. Another group who's a partner of ours out of the UK called Monetalis accessed $1 billion from Maker, took that funding and invested in money market funds, real world assets. None of it is tokenized, but it shows the opportunity to utilize DeFi and real world assets and bridge that right now, and I think that'll only grow.
Let's talk about Oasis Pro for a moment here. I mean, you've had tremendous growth over the past couple of years. What's next?
More growth. We're going to come out with some significant announcements with large partners. Our focus is large institutions, some of which I mentioned today. Also, I can't mention the name, but one of the largest private equity fund families in the world has taken an equity stake in us. We plan to announce that over the next several months. We don't rush to come out with press releases, but I'll be sure to give you the heads up on that when we're ready.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in a few months on the show. Thanks so much for joining us, Pat.
Thank you,
and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.